Welcome back to Great Northwest Weaponry. I'm Thomas, and today we are doing a repair video. This is going to be on my Mosin Nagant Finnish M39. And to show you in short why we need to do some work on this, that shouldn't happen without me pulling the trigger. Now, if the trigger is manipulated just so, it'll stop it from opening, but it shouldn't be that wiggly. So I do have a replacement trigger right here if it is simply a matter of the catch being too worn down. But if not, then we're going to see if we can diagnose what the problem is. And then at the end of the video, we'll be doing some test firing and see if we've remedied the issue. But again, very simple. It just slides right out. Typically, that just means that the catch is worn down, and just looking at it, it looks like it probably is. But most of this will be shot from a tabletop perspective, and then we'll be going out to the range to test fire. Now, this was not the video that I expected to be posting this week, so quick schedule update. 2 weeks from today, I will be posting the FN Browning High Power demo, my World War II example of the FN Browning High Power. We'll be following that 3 weeks later with the M1 Garand demo. In between all of those, every week we'll be posting 2 shorts for the entire duration of that time, one on Monday morning and one on Wednesday morning. And I intend on keeping up 2 shorts a week for at least the next few months, but there may be weeks when I only do 1. Regardless, there will be at least 1 demo a week on Monday, every week for the entirety of the year. I already have enough shot to carry us through about August, so should not be a problem at all. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the tabletop and see if we can diagnose the problems with my M39's trigger. The only tool that we're going to need for any part of this process is a flathead screwdriver. This is just going to be to unscrew a couple of large bolts that we need to take out in a couple of different locations. Now, I'm going to zip over a lot of the unscrewing segments, but first off, we're going to take off the front barrel band. There are 2 screws on here. We got one on the top and one on the side. So, and I'm going to be just setting these to the side off screen so that we don't lose track of anything. That's that one free. Now on the side. There's that one. Set this off screen there. Now the front barrel band itself should just come free here. We might actually have to, I think we've actually got to remove the this rod here first. Then it should just come right off. There we go. And you can see that second bolt goes all the way through. Now, got to take off that barrel band, but first we've got to remove the sling, and we may as well, while we're here, just take the bolt out. Well, that time it actually hung up as it's supposed to. Again, maybe a spring issue, maybe a trigger issue, so we're going to find out. Just got to pull this through both pieces of fabric. This kind of button here. Try not to rip anything. Okay, set that aside. Now, that's free. We don't need to free it from the other end. We just need it free on the stock end there. Go ahead and unscrew this. There we go. And the barrel band should now be free to kind of, well, first off, we've got to actually depress this button there. And then now should be able to slide it all the way off the nose of the gun. Got to kind of manipulate it over the front sight. And now our handguard is free. Gonna have to clean up the table in front of me here in a minute because I'm getting quite a few objects sitting up here. Now the next thing that we need to do is pull that screw there. Again, screwdriver. can just lift it out, very long bolt. Now we'll go ahead and unscrew the magazine and trigger guard. Pull that one free. All comes out as one block. Now your receiver and barrel should just lift right out, like so. Easy peasy. Now, why is this so sloppy in here? This is the crux of the problem. It seems like it's just kind of, well, frankly, just loose. Looser than it should be. We can pull that screw out to get this little retainer free, and then the trigger comes free as well. After freeing that screw there, we've got to push this pin out here. I have an extra pin to do just that. Now everything in there should be free. I'm going to set this extra pin aside. Don't lose it. And there we go. That is all of it. Now, looking at the height on this piece versus this piece, you can see there's a marked difference there. So I'm going to go ahead and install the replacement trigger, though the fins did do a thing where they shimmed up the old triggers. So this is definitely going to be kind of an experiment here to see how well this lines up. I have rearranged some things on the table just to make this all a little easier to keep track of. Now, first off, got to insert this catch and then put the trigger assembly back into place. Okay, so it needs to be facing that way, and then this. Fairly certain this goes in this way. And then screws down right there, and then we got the pin that goes through. So I'm going to go ahead and just set the pin through. All right, that feels much more like it should already. We've got this short screw. It goes in right there. Oh, it's not lining up very good. There we go. Okay. Tighten it down a little bit. Right there seems to be about where it stops. Now, that seems fully functional, and it's not floating loose like it was. That was the part that seemed most problematic to me. Now, we can reinsert this back into the stock. Just goes right in, just kind of falls into place. Pretty simple. Trigger guard, magazine. Slides in like so. Now the shorter of these two heavy bolts here goes in the bottom, and the longer one goes in the top. Again, you want it tight, but not absurdly tight. Large bolt in the top. Drop it in. Okay, everything is solid, nothing is loose and wiggling. Top handguard. And up next is the barrel band. Got to slide it over the front sight and down the gun into place right there. Then we can put the retaining screw back in. It's another long one. Front barrel band. Slides on, and then put the screw all the way through. latch the top and put that final screw on. Again, tight, but not ridiculously so. Everything is in place there. We do need to put our cleaning rod back in. And last, we're gonna go ahead and thread our sling back into place. Okay, moment of truth. See if the bolt goes in properly and is properly retained. I think we're good, guys. Check for function here. All right, it pulls and everything locks up and opens and closes properly. Okay, time to take it out to the range and test it. All right, this is gonna be a pretty simple test. Just 5 rounds. Got a target about 60 yards downrange. And just see basically if the trigger is functioning as it should. Here we go. Target turned sideways, so I'm probably not going to hit it now, but so far so good. All seems good. Call that a success. The trigger definitely feels different. I would like to get a proper M39 trigger to drop back into this, but I do think what we discussed during the repair segment about that retaining notch just being a little too shallow right here seems to have just left the bolt so that it could just glide right out of the gun. Should be able to just put it right in, but it shouldn't just fall out. So as far as functionally, it seems we have fixed this rifle, but I'm gonna kind of show what I mean here. There's seemingly no break when pulling the trigger here. It's just smooth all the way through, and then it just fires. There's no noticeable break. There used to be. So getting a proper M39 trigger would be ideal. This does work. So my M39 is once again functional and ready for use in videos. Hope you all enjoyed this video. It's been Thomas from Great Northwest Weaponry, and I will see you next time.